Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, First of all, I would like to thank the department for inviting us to present our work and giving this chance to give an overview how our own work style that we started with Sundar. Now we are working Gupteshwar. So our travel of last 10 years is probably we are showing with the 3 examples. So most of us are conservation architect, and basically we follow these stages, preparatory stage and execution stage, with having little bit variation of considering the presence of monument and the location and the architectural value of the temple or the religious place. So I'll just illustrate these stages through further few examples. This is Sundar Narayan temple located on the river, on the bank of river Godavari. And unfortunately, we have a very sad condition of this temple because of when the bridge was constructed by Britishers just next to a temple, Nashik Municipal Corporation constructed another bridge 20 years back, which was on the steps which were leading to the Goda and electricity department have placed their DP just next to the temple. So removing that DP, taking all the government NOCs and shifting that DP to the another location underground of that DP, this whole process take a lot time, and people were that the government is not, or the department is not sensitive towards the conservation of this temple. This kind of news were found in newspaper, but the actual working with different government officials was a task when actual work was started. So this is a temple just next to the river. You can see the level difference of at least 15 to 20 feet from the lower Godavari river basin. The basin is on a bigger depth, but you can say the road which is next to the river is 15 feet lower to the level of the temple. So this was again the temple which is mentioned in Chakradhar Swami's Tanpothi, and it was erased during the Islamic. It was again built by Sardar Gangadhar Chandrachud, who was mentioned by Kalamdani sir in 1756. So this is a beautiful sculpture temple having a very sculpturous kind of a external facade. With small details of and showing the influence of Malwa tradition on the exterior side. So we documented this temple mornings from 6 to 7 because it is in a locality where people gets early in the morning and start questioning what you are doing, why you are doing, and so these are some challenges when the monument is located exactly in the middle of the locality. So there is one inscription just above the main Mukhamandapa mentioning the age, the construction era and the person who executed that temple. So if you talk about the plan, you have a east-west, like other temples, it is along east-west axis. You have an entry from Mukhamandapa from eastern side, and two Ardha Mandapas located on north and south side, and main shrine is of Vishnu inside a Garbhagruha, where you have, previously they used to have idols of basalt, but 50 years back they have changed to another idols, and now they have, as the temple is under the working condition, the idols were shifted to a location nearby Vada, and the conservation work is going on. So we made the plans with all the stages because this was our first project, so we were not aware what kind of which stone we need to replace, because we have conducted the structural stability test for each and every stone, and then we have decided what kind of, of course with the help of department, we have taken a decision that the external facade of the Garbhagruha was completely damaged and the stones were not capable of taking the structural load of the temple. So we have replaced the external skin of the Garbhagruha. So these are some drawings we made, and detailed drawings were prepared. All the layers with all the designs, because though we are not in the initial phase, we were not going to work on other part of the temple, but initially only have documented precinct with all the small we can see on the temple. During the decision-making process conducted, as I said, all the testing of all the coming material coming to the site, and which is existing of the existing temple, which is there on the temple surface. And after going through the results on black and white, then we have taken a decision to replace those external skin of the temple. We also conducted learning and a few more then to understand whether we whatever kind of decision we are taking, because with respect to condition of the monument, we conducted few scientific investigation methodology, and then we have arrived at one point that we should do this kind of technology and we can do this kind of work. Of course, many, as an architectural firm, as the normative says, we are not very much, if you are working with government, then this kind of practice are mandatory. But many of the time, what conversation I have heard from the department, that people are not on technically on bar charts and what kind of, because it is said that conservation work have no timelines and it's slow process, it's agreed. But after some experience, you can certainly put those work with respect to quantity, we can quantify, we can also quantify the time also. So that is one thing which will give clear idea what this project can, the time frame we can decide on these parts. So it is, I think, necessary, and another technical parts and red analysis, these are part and parcel of the project. So don't hesitate to do that. Because whatever conversation I'm just coming to me are that these are very technical, these are engineer services, but conservation work cannot be single-handedly done with the architectural practice. It is part, the engineering services are the one who made that project up, the practically, which make that project to be executed in a perfect manner. When execution work started, the original stone of the temple was procured from Nashe's fort nearby Nas. For that composition which we have found on the surface of the temple, we approached the quarries which are located in Maharashtra, where we can find the similar kind of basalt, because in basalt also we can have a little variation. But as the basalt which was placed on the surface was comparatively porous and which was not withstanding the extreme climatic condition of Nasik, so that was deteriorated. So we have this kind of stone. So these are different stages when we start with the project, and then crafting the designs, as sir rightly said, that you need to do the detailed drawings of each and every thing which is you can see on the surface, and not only the surface, in the precinct of the temple. So we have done all the detailed drawings of all the designs, all the joints, all the elements of temple. So these are some photographs showing the process of execution of external wall. So during execution also we need to take care that, and you need to improve the age of that temple. So in between the wooden planks we found when we were lowering down the temple, and some metal clamps also we have found. So we decided to put the clamps. So there are two different. One is the one who have circular cross section, and one with the flat cross section, having their own different functional requirement at various places. So soil back support helped us a lot to, it also work as a working platform also, and it was very useful for the safety and security of the workers and the craftsmen who are working there. Because of soil back support, people were not able to identify what kind of work is going on inside, because initial stages the back support was almost 8 wide platform. The work was going inside the platform and people were not able to see what kind of work is going on. So there were many different kind of allegations or different kind of news were flashing in the newspapers that work is standstill, but actually work was going inside the gunny back support. So of course you need to take care of your monument. During the COVID period, the work was going on, and during when the craftsmen were not there on site, it was a monsoon period, and suddenly we realized that half of the portion is still open. And so my engineer and a few people helped us to inform the department and the contractor, and we put all the support or cover to the Garbhagruha. So these are different stages how actual work was executed. Shifting of DP, then we numbering of the existing stones, lowering down with the scaffolding and gunny back support, then removing them carefully, putting them at right location with the good appropriate numbering, and then identifying which stone we can replace, which we cannot, and then creating new stones and placing them in the place. Some before after photographs showing the transformation of the. This is phase 1 work, and I'm happy to share that when we started from south side, we completed half of the dome. The left side photograph shows the work done, and another photograph on the same day showing the work on northern side. So we completed the side covering east to west via south, and again in the second phase we completed the north side of the Garbhagruha, and we are managed to keep there was not a difference on the north side wall when we started creating new surface on the external side. So we are able to match those existing levels on the site. I'll just play a small video. So this is lowering down of the and execution of the Amalak and Kalasha. Okay. Thank you so much for listening carefully. Now I invite my partner, Engineer Yogesh Kasarpatil, because his contribution to the next two projects, where the technical decisions were very important, was important. So I invite Yogesh Kasarpatil to give further presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and I thank Dr. Tejas Garge and the department to give us this opportunity. The Khandoba temple is 11th, 12th century temple. Up to the Chadya level, it is in stone masonry, and the Shikhara is in brick masonry. The masonry was built by Ahilyabai Holkar during the Atha period. It is architectural marvel because it has intricate carvings of pillars and ceilings and the walls. This is the second top picture is of the ceiling. This is the documentation we did. Then the conditional mapping, the conjecture drawing. We did the material survey for it. It is built in red basalt, and the red basalt is available in Kannad. It is also available, it was previously procured at Ajanta caves, but as Ajanta has now been protected monument, the quarry has been closed. We carried out the scientific investigation. It included geological investigation, the stone test, existing stone test, and the stones which we are going to use in this structure. We also carried out the acquisition of the various materials we will be using. For this structural design, we got it made from College of Engineering, Pune, where Mr. B.M. Dowry sir was in charge. The Sabha Mandap has been collapsed. So initially, to read, we visited many monuments around this site. But importantly, the niches which are there at the antral and the column base remaining on the Sabha Mandap, you can make out that it is an octagonal beam-based dome. So it cannot be Navrang Vitan as in Grushneshwar. So these are the reference images which we studied this temple, one at Kaigao and another in Toka in Nevasa, which are 35 kilometers away from this site. So this is the ongoing work on the site. This is the 2 days ago's photos. This is the restoration of the Shikhara, the pointing and plastering and masonry work where the masonry was loose was taken up. We also restored the Deepmal. This is the Shikhara plastering of the Kalas. This is the gathering during the festivals. Now we'll go through the Gupteshwar temple. It is located in village Dharasur in district. It is also the same structure. The up to the chadya level, it is in stone masonry, and the shikhra is in brick masonry. But the entire structure is of 12th, 13th century. So the shikhra is also the same age. During the earthquake, it got damaged. This is the west side, the back side of the temple, where you can see that entire plinth has been collapsed. Also, the north side has collapsed, and the shikhra has a tilt of 6 degrees. The shikhra has tilted 6 degrees, and the entire gap at the antral level we can see. So in the antral and garbhagriha, you can see the gap formation, and visibly during the 5 to 6 years we were doing this project, we visually see that gap have increased. The main cause of damage to the structure is uneven settlement of the structure. So this settlement is not uniform. So we carried out the survey, and the plan in the left side gives the various levels of the layers. This was the conditional mapping. This is for the purpose for the level difference at the 14th layer. So at the center it is about 8 inch. So this is the cross sectional east-west. Along on the north-south also there is a difference in settlement. This is the conjecture drawing. The foundation is not uniform. It is in mud mortar, and the binding of the mud mortar is not intact at present. So it was difficult to consolidate that temple as it is, because it has deteriorated to a large extent. I will just play a video so you can understand the temple. See ongoing work. We have also given the I section structural support inside the temple.
शिवसम्भूत भुवि संजात नम्बिदवगिम्बु कोडुववनीत ಸಾವಿರ ದೈವದ ಮನಸಂಪ್ರೀತ ಬೇಡುತ್ತ ನಿಂದೆವು ಆಚುತ
This is the conjecture 3D. So now we have also done the soil investigation. Up to 5 feet, it is all filled soil with soil and boulders. So we have now proposed masonry below the foundation with the large size beam-like stones. And above that, then we will give the UCR masonry in lime. We carried out ultrasonic pulse velocity meter, and we also had scanned this monument with mini scanner. The stone quality is very good, so we are expecting 70 to 80% stone will be reused in this conservation work. So we gave soil back support as well as structural steel supports at Ardha Mandap and Sabha Mandap area. The entire number has been carried out for peat, upeat, the Sabha Mandap, during the decision making. It was two theories to consolidate this temple as it is. But as I said earlier, that it has deteriorated a lot, and it is already has an 8-degree tilt, and it has been collapsed on west side. So it was possible because the foundation is also not an uniform. As I told you, it is done in mud mortar. So it could not be done in that fashion because, as I said, during 6 years also the tilt was increasing. So it could not be possible because seeing to partly address the Sabha Mandap and just consolidating the Garbhagruha and Shikhara. So the decision with after discussion with the director and assistant director, everyone involved, we took a decision to lower down the entire structure, redo the foundation, and restore this temple. During this construction, it will be very challenging, and now we have now decided, we are deciding to lower the shikhara in 3 parts intact. So in single piece we cannot lower it. So we have now decided that if possible, we will lower the shikhara in 3 parts because inside there are the support beams in the shikhara. So we have decided if it is possible, because the top first portion, the top portion will be around 1.5 ton. The middle portion will be around 2.5, and the lower portion will be 3.5 to 4 tons. So if possible, the whole shikhara will be lowered down in 3 parts. We are working on it. and we hope for best that we will be able to lower this Shikhara in 3 intact parts. The challenges to work on religious monuments are emotional involvement of local people, difficulties in documentation, interference or expectation of trust and owner, and time frame required for the work, as Madam earlier already discussed. So it's very difficult to address these things. We are doing many more temple projects. Around 32 projects we are working on. The Saptasrungi idol, which was restored last year, is also one of our project. And we are also doing the pressing development for the Gupteshwar at for the ASI protected monument. The Kolhapur Mahalakshmi temple, the Devada Siddheshwar temple in Chandrapur, to name the few. Thank you. If anyone has some question, we can take it. Mike.
Hello. So what was your management to stack the lowered masonry? Where did you stack it?
Pardon? I didn't hear.
What was your management to stack all the lowered masonry?
We have made a yard where in the layers, according we will lower it according to the same pattern at that yard. We have identified the yard 100 meters away from the monument.
Thank you, sir.
And we have also documented stone by stone, number by number. Now also again we have drafted it in DWG format also.
I wanted to ask about the Shikhara. It has molded bricks. So how do you plan to cut it into 3 parts and lower? Will there be any possibility of damage? And will you be building the Shikhara as well, which is damaged as of now?
The damaged portion and the molded bricks will be reproduced and replaced. So earlier we thought we will lower brick by brick. But to restore brick by brick will be a very difficult task. So now we have decided to have to wire cut the parts and lower it into 3 parts.
But you will try to retain as much of Shikhara?
We are to retain the maximum we can. During the restoring also, we will be taking care because it will be covered before restoring the bricks from outside and inside. We will be protecting it in a different manner using different material, and then we will be lowering it down. So it will not be directly lowered, it will be protected. Thank you.
Excuse me. Sorry. I have a question for Engineer Kasarpatil and also Dr. Arun Menon. Are there any guidelines or guidebooks available for structural analysis of traditional Indian temples, especially from engineering point of view, which guidelines that can be referred at the time of documentation itself? Because usually as architects we do struggle with understanding structural behavior of these traditional structures.
Frankly, for designing load-bearing structures, there are very few structural engineers who do it, and also not many are eager to design the load-bearing structure. So personally, I am inviting many engineers to join to do this structural designing. For the material available, there is very few. Dr. Menon can elaborate later on more on it. But in this field, it's just the observation and practice. Means for the structural engineer, for last 1 week, for one of the monument, early morning and evening, for 1 hour, I and my engineer are speaking with that structural engineer how the load should be transformed and what are the functionality. Because there are very few structural engineers practicing in this field. So they have many problems because they don't have that practical experience. So we are also speaking with CUP also that to incorporate such syllabus into their curriculum so that it will be easier in future. Yes. We do physical first, and also we drew drone mapping, or if needed, LiDAR mapping. No, it is not for just photogrammetry. Means we have done it physically till the top Shikhara level, because getting the measurement of the Shikhara, it was the villagers only opposed us to go on the top. Still, we measured each niches and each stucco plaster physically, and also we did drone mapping for it. Replicate. So as in Sundar ma'am said that we lowered down south side, means we started from east side and south side, but the half west and north side was intact. So you can, for the initial stage, you can make out if there is a difference in your work or not. And also these specimen which we have lowered down, they are also for inspection for us. Yes, these are of is a problematic, but fortunately we had for Sundar Narayan we had a team from Chennai. The contractor was Gayatri Architect, which did a very magnificent work. And as ma'am said, not a single difference was there. And I would proudly boast that anyone visit any time of the day on the site and you check it. So that was the skill of the artisans working over there.
But I think we can continue these discussions later on because we are already late on the session and I don't want to keep everyone waiting for the lunch. There's still one more presentation to go. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we'll continue.
Okay, thank you, sir.